Hi, and welcome everybody. Welcome live people. Welcome people who are watching this as a video. And today we're going to talk about what I feel is going to be the three biggest news stories in the present, but also over the next several years. And no, it's not the fires, and it's not even the wars, and it's not the pandemic or what some people are forecasting to be a pandemic later in the decade. So I'm going to get into that very shortly. If you're watching this as a video, well, a couple of things. One, if I disappear, I'm having Wi-Fi issues. So if somehow I disappear, hang out, because it takes me 5 minutes to reboot. And sorry about that. Hopefully everything will be cool. But we're having the fifth tech come out tomorrow to try to fix it. So anyway, that's that. So if you're watching this as a video, I'm going to start in just a minute. I'm going to just give the live people a moment to get their notifications. This was sort of a last minute ad, so I don't think we're going to get a lot of live people on. And then I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to really work hard to keep this around 20 minutes or so. What I have to say shouldn't take a huge amount of time, so you won't be here for hours and hours. And also, speaking of Wi-Fi, if my voice and image aren't syncing, sorry about that. So let me put on the old specs here, say a few quick hellos. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, So Family. Hi, Angela, MT, Chris, Yvonne, Manic Mama, Susan, and Lisa, and MDR and MT. Welcome. Hi, Claire. Hi, MT. I know there's more. Hi, Michael, and hi, Jody. And yeah, in the last 10 seconds, we jumped from 11 to 22. So people are finding us. I'm just going to give them 24 now. So I'm just going to give them a couple more minutes. That's not the one I meant to flash. This is the one I meant to flash. Mind you guys, do us a favor and hit the like button if you like it. Let's be authentic. If you like what we're doing here, hit the like button, and then this gets to be shared with more people. So what else is going on? Okay, see more people are finding us. Hi, Laura. Hi, Paul Alvarado. Oh, P. Alvarado. Hi. How are you? Welcome. Oh, everybody's saying to hit the like button. Well, I'll flash that one too. Hi, Joe. Hi, Roseanne. And hello, all you beautiful people. On my screen, there's a big delay. I'm hoping that's not showing up for you guys. Anyways, I did say my prayers. I did call on the angel. So let's see what happens here. So I think it's time to dive into this. I have my cheat sheet over here, so I'm going to be looking down from time to time. So three top things that I feel are going to be really, really big movers and shakers. We're in the time of a great awakening. Everything's changing on the planet. We know that. There's forces or there's powers that be that want to suppress the truth and want to maintain control. These are a very small, select group of individuals. The elite, if you want to call them, the ruling party, the cabal. There's a lot of names for that. And one of the ways that they control things, there's many ways, of course, it's through fear, guilt, and shaming. But one of the primary ways is through media. Now, it's a well-known fact that if you can control the thinking of a society, you can control that society. The media is a tool to control the thinking of the society. There's lots of things that come out that are very emotionally engaging, but a lot of that are traps or diversions. So if they can report things, and they're not always lies, by the way. It's not always complete fabrication. It's really what news they want to focus your attention on and what they want to slip under the radar, where they have your attention over here, and then there's something way more important and insidious going on over here. It's well known that those that control things have shown very little regard for the well-being of human beings, and these are things that we have to be aware of. Now, that said, there's a lot of very good-hearted people in positions of power also. So this isn't going to be like Iran, like Rage Against the Machine and all that stuff. We're really here to sort things out, to connect as a community, to understand what's going on, so that we can better better, what's the right word? So we can, we can live better, and we can help everybody live better, and we can connect in community and stuff like this. So anyhow, so I think I've laid the background enough. I'm just asking Spirit if there's anything else that I need to say about it. I feel like they're saying that they did a good job. The main thing is understanding the machine, understanding the nature of what I call tricknology, the nature of tricknology. And some of that is really, again, that diversion of attention and creating a different scenario or different mindset out of a factual event. So that's also part of the tricknology, part of the nature of that. They want to scare us, they want to suppress us, they want to guilt us, they want to shame us to control our behavior. And again, what's going on is there to benefit a minute few at the expense of a great many. So the first thing on the agenda, and hi again, Chris, and hi, Adrian, welcome, is UFO sightings. We've been talking for a good while, and this came up on probably like every month's forecast for this year, increase in UFO sightings. Now, be careful about that, because not all of those so-called UFO sightings are real. As far from what I understand, again, I'm drawing from what Spirit tells me, from what I've observed, and from the research that I've done from people and groups that I consider to have their finger on the pulse, that are honest about things. Yeah, and MDR saying don't watch too much media. It's good to know what they're up to. Eat an apple, take a walk. Thank you for that. Um, so their objective, understand, the end game is always to centralize power to control the masses. So if you understand the end game, you can kind of start to get a feel of what the moving parts are here. They want to have powers over others. And there's real ETs, obviously. How much do I talk about starseeds? I mean, for Christ's sakes, I even channel extraterrestrial intelligences and the master teachers. So ETs are real. Pleiadians, Arcturians, they've been working with us. They've been working with humanity for a good while now. But what I'm talking about is that War of the Worlds agenda. I think there's a name for it. But what better scenario than to create a fictitious threat that's beyond our understanding? We fear what we don't understand. And we also fear things that are very small and things that are very big, because we don't understand that what's very small, viruses are very small. What's very big, other planets, other star systems, huge crafts coming down from the heavens to colonize the world and colonize the planet. So, this is the underlying human fear that they would be tapping into in this scenario, and create a scenario where it appears that the UFOs, the extraterrestrials, want to conquer us, colonize us, hurt us in some way. And then they can say, well, we need to get together. You need to trust us. We need to centralize everything in order to keep you safe from this threat. So that's number one. Let me see what else they said. Oh, okay. Yeah. The one last thing is they'll throw out like all of this stuff and all this information. Some of it can be based on true sightings. Again, that's the tricknology, twist things around. Here's a good example of tricknology in action. There was the Woodstock Festival in 1969. It was for 250,000 kids, many of them on drugs or drinking. It was a remarkably peaceful event, 3 days and nights with music. There were maybe 20 some odd incidences, like Marty Ballin of the Jefferson Airplane, getting into a tussle with the police, for example. But the next one was Altamont, and they had hired people from the Hells Angels to stir things up and to create problems. And then all of a sudden, all over the headlines, the hippies are violent. We've got to squash this movement at all costs. So that's an example of tricknology in action. So just wanted to throw that out there. So if they're creating these mock UFO threats, it's diverting tension away from the real extraterrestrials, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Lyrans, the Mantis. There's over 100 different species that have been identified that's working with humanity in this great awakening. It's all about spiritual growth. When we awaken and we grow spiritually, we are not controllable anymore, not as controllable. All right, so that's number one. Number two is the whole thing about child trafficking and kidnappings and sexual enslavement and all that stuff. And some of you may be listening to this and wondering why the heck that's not the first most important thing. And that's an arguable point, honestly. What's more important than the children, right? So the Wall Street Journal had recently, I think last week, had published an article about a sex trafficking ring, a child porn ring, whatever, using Instagram as a way of communicating with each other. And some people are heralding that as a big victory. And honestly, the Wall Street Journal has kind of sort of pushed the envelope a little bit as far as MSN goes. I wouldn't discount this as complete BS or whatever. But in my thinking, what I think that we should be aware of that is that they may be keying on a smaller and less significant ring to divert attention to the main thing that's going on out there. And I often explain that this is nothing new. Um, and basically, I'm just peeking down into your comments also as I'm talking. I'm trying to multitask here. Um, but yeah, this has been going on probably even before the 60s. But my parents were terrified because children were disappearing, never to be heard from again. So there was a strict set of code when I was young of not talking to strangers, never being out of sight of mom and dad, excuse me, and stuff of that nature. Okay, yeah, and like I said, this one's out for debate because, like I said, the Wall Street Journal has been pushing the envelope on a few things. They have been talking about whistleblowers, but be careful that, again, that attention's not being diverted and people think, oh, we found it. Oh, it's not as big as we thought we found it. Meanwhile, there's still, the big one, the island, Epstein's, all that stuff, big, movie stars, political figures, all of that being involved. Honestly, I'm speaking on circumstantial evidence. I don't know this to be true, but there's a lot of reliable sources that talk about this being really, really big business. And, our children are our future. They're the lifeblood of this planet. And I do believe that I got shadow banned on social media just for posting cigarette ads at the very bottom of the entranceway of popular convenience store. I posted that, and out of 9-10 years or longer on Facebook, this particular post got the fewest likes and reach of anything I've ever posted that did not contain a link in it. And basically, I said, the future smokers of America. I made a little joke about a little hashtag, pound future smokers of America, or hashtag support your local pharmaceutical companies, stuff like that, because that's what they're doing. And there's an assault against the children. And gosh, my good friend Heather, who's very much part of this channel, had her son over not that long ago, 4 years old, and he was doing on kids. This is kids YouTube, and he was watching something where they were showing a larger woman's bare butt and the character sticking a pin in that bare butt, and it's really, really funny and laughing about it. This is programming. I'm sorry, women are beautiful in all sizes, shapes, and colors. Yet from a very early age, they're being programmed to make fun of women that have extra weight or weight. I shouldn't even say extra weight, that have more weight than what society thinks that they should have and stuff like that. So these are just different ads of how children are being targeted, being programmed from a very early age to continue to propagate these sick agendas. So, yeah, nothing really more important than children being kidnapped and put into sexual labor, right? Although number three, I'm going to get to that one in a second, and all right, I'm just going to flash elevated intuitions. comment. Yeah, 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 and I'm seeing, where I get the less reach. I'm understanding the code. What they try to prevent people from seeing. There's a reason for it, so that's good. So, and Susan saying the college students are getting brainwashed also. So it's happening on all levels, and in all ways. So anything else about that? Brainwash. All right. So I think we get the idea. So number 3 on the list, what I feel is really like the key element here is transhumanism, the trend that artificial intelligence is likely to take from things that I've seen in visions, things that I've heard about. And now, before I go on, I'm not against technology. I'm not against advancements like that. To me, that is part of the awakening. That is part of our evolution. However, that said, um, how it's being used, for what purposes it's being used, and we have to understand what that is. Now, I have a lot of things written down. Okay, part of our so one of the things that I'm finding, that I'm believing about this is, as we start to link up, this is happening already, by the way. Trials have already began of interfacing humans with technology. So that's not like conjecture about this may happen in the future. It's already real. It's already in the experimental phase. They'll be able to simulate experiences, and be able to simulate the hormonal aspects of those experiences. So, what is human life? It's based on hormones. Everything we feel, all of our emotions are hormones in the body. Yes, it's energy and motion, but it's hormones in the body. They'll be able to simulate thrills. They may be able to simulate sex and all kinds of experiences. But what has me really concerned, and why I push this up to number 1, although again, the child trafficking could be, is that I do believe that they're going to simulate spiritual awakening. Now, remember, this is artificial intelligence, AI. This is all simulation. It's not real. We're human beings. We come to this incarnation to learn, to grow, and to evolve, and to awaken, and to do the work required for spiritual awakening. Now it's like, well, we have a program, just plug in. We can give you a DMT rush. We can give you a gamma experience. We can give you the experience of enlightenment. So why meditate? Why do yoga? Why do all this stuff? We can give this all for you. Just push the button. So you see where I'm going with this, right? I'm missing your comments, but Lord, thanks. We have souls, right? So let me see. I wrote these down in notes. I didn't want to miss anything here. Another thing is, the thing about med beds and this technology. It's beautiful. Again, and again, just to back up a little bit, I do believe that AI, the technology, is going to be a very useful tool. But keep this in mind: tools can be used, or they can be used against us. Tools can be used, or they can be misused. And there's a lot of debate. I don't know if debate's the right word, but conjecture about the Atlanteans really being undermined by their own misuse of their technology, their advanced technology. We have stuff that we don't even know about, that's hidden from view. They've had the technology that they're going to be rolling out over the next couple of years, for at least 15 years, if not longer. Excuse me, I require more water here. So the med beds, yeah, great technology. I'm all for it. You have something that can help us heal cancer and all these horrible diseases. Of course, I'm all for it. But we have the ability to heal ourselves. We have dormant DNA that we can do the work to awaken that. And if you can heal your own disease, you don't have to rely on any outside source. Yes, tools, spiritual tools are meant to get you from point A to point B, but at some point you're meant to let that go and to further your path without them. So understand that. And again, I'm being repetitive, but I yeah, the let me take a deep breath so I can start to talk again. Great technology. That I love the ideas. If it's proven effective, I might have a med bed myself why not, right? If this can help, but develop the mind, develop the spirit, develop the heart. Um, so again, they can simulate all these experiences, spiritual experiences, but who's going to control this? Who's going to control the medbed? From what I'm hearing, it sounds very idealistic, not for profit, not the governments, not this, that, or the other thing. I'm not sure if I'm ready to buy that. I hope that that's true. I'll put it that way. So here's why I feel that this is a trap. So let me put this down. Part of the human experience is growth. We learn most through the experience, the journey. So the journey is how we learn and grow. It's like when spirit guides come through, like say you want to know what your life purpose is, and you call on spirit guides. Is that spirit guide going to tell you, well, you're meant to do this year and this that year, this that year? Or are they going to give you information to point you in the direction of your truth so you may find your own answers? Because that's where the learning and growth is. That's where the spiritual growth is the discovery, the self-discovery. This technology has the power to rob you of that and to retard your spiritual growth. Again, I'm seeing this as a big trap. Do not fall for it. Remember, the devil can only tempt. And it's going to be really, really tempting when people start to find out what they can do with this technology and what we can experience in the comforts of our own home. It's going to be amazing. So AI spiritual awakening is artificial. It is simulated. Again, artificial intelligence for a reason. So also there's other social implications, economics, moralities, all of that. But what can happen is the mind can atrophy, the spirit can atrophy, and our physical bodies can also atrophy. So I have another page of notes here. Where is that? Oh, here we go. Um, there are no shortcuts to spiritual growth. Understand that it's a process of meditation. It's a process of learning to tune within. It's a process of learning to identify the ego in order to transcend it, to embrace it in order to transcend it. It's a process of understanding disease, understanding collective programming, individual programming. It's a process of understanding our higher intelligences, our higher resources, our connection with our guides, our connection with the extraterrestrials, our connection with Great Spirit, Source, or God. And we are, what did I write here? We are born into this incarnation to grow, to learn, to evolve. That is why we are having human experiences. So again, this is not to say technology can't be part of our awakening, and I believe one day it will be. I believe one day as we evolve and we awaken, we're going to use this amazing technology as a very useful tool to assist us in our natural spiritual growth and evolution, not as a substitute. Okay. All right. I think we beat that down. And it's already 7:24. So I wanted to finish up in a minute, but I wanted to also suggest a few practices that you guys could start to do to start to develop. But in any event, just to recap that, I do believe this is going to be really big news. So in the next 2-3 years, watch out for that. We're going to see it as I talked about right around this time of the year. Huge developments in AI, huge developments in all this stuff. They're already starting public demonstrations of medbeds and other technologies. So it's all happening, And the other thing is like I said, there's an economic consideration. So be on the lookout for that and be in the heart, be in your power. So here's some things that you can do. Meditate daily. That's how you grow and evolve. That's how you strengthen your mind. We need a practice. We need a daily spiritual routine that's structured, that's powerful, that helps us to grow and evolve, that helps to keep us strong and safe between all the stress of the world, which breaks down our systems, it breaks down our immunity and all that kind of stuff. And it breaks down our emotional and psychological makeup. Combine that with the fact that naturally the frequencies continue to increase on the planet Earth. There's crude measurements available to that now. As time goes on, there'll be more sophisticated measurements. One of these crude measurements is the Schumann resonance. That used to be a fairly steady. Schumann resonance is, what is it, 8.6 hertz or 8.3 hertz, but it's been spiking into the hundreds and even the thousands. So work with meditation, work with presence always. Work with developing your chakra system. Work with developing the heart center. We talk a lot about heart-brain coherence. Um, and we have a lot of videos on the practice, and I'm developing a course. I'm calling it the heart magnetization system, and teach you how to really magnification system, and teach you how to really magnify the heart through breath, through pranayama, through chakra development, and using heart brain coherence as the centerpiece of that. Hearts are coherent when they feel love, gratitude, appreciation, compassion. When they feel stress, fear, dread, and worry, which is what's being programmed into us, they become incoherent. And the heart and the brain are connected, but the heart's stronger than the brain. So when the heart's incoherent, the brain becomes incoherent. When the heart becomes coherent with these higher emotions, then the brain locks into coherence. And then our immunity improves, our intuition improves, our ability to create our reality improves. So this is a really, really important practice. God, there's something I wanted to say, and I can't. And I lost it. Darn it. Okay. I'll remember. As soon as I end this, I'll remember what that is. But it's along those lines of things to develop. So work with the frequency of the heart. Now there's what's it? 639 hertz. That's a Solfeggio frequency, works with the heart chakra also. Also, 528 is very good for the solar plexus. So again, we need to strengthen our systems. So that's why we need to practice breath work, some yoga, qigong, things like that. Go out into nature. Don't have the technology on at night and when you first wake up. You want to be in a sovereign state. You want to be present. You want to be in your heart. You want to be in your spirit. You want to be in your power. And when you go out into nature, you feel the flows more. Nature, if you meditate on nature and just feel the flow of energy, that can clear a lot of vibrational debris that's affecting a lot of us. All right, and that's pretty much it. So let me just see. So guided amethyst, that's very good. I want to catch up on your feedback. Gemstones, absolutely. Where's my shun guide? Darn. Oh, no, I don't even have my shun guide. But gemstones be very good. And green tea saying turn off Wi-Fi or meditate. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But if I have a lower thought that's not aligned to my core, I gotta. That's excellent. Right side wave. I can't. Yeah, yeah, and working with Solfeggio frequencies, that's a prime example of working with technology to augment your spiritual growth, not to have a quick fix to substitute it. Um, and yeah, and that's just part of it. So in any event, that's what I have for you guys today. So hopefully that's helpful and meaningful. And like I said, keep an eye out for those things. Stay in your heart, stay in your power. That's the eye of the storm. The more in your heart you are, the more in that frequency you are, the less you're programmable, because the heart cannot be programmed. And I say this a lot for good reason. So the more we work with the heart, the more resistant we are to the programming. It's very sophisticated. I'm looking at my computer screen. There's probably subliminal messages that are trying to program me just by looking at a computer screen, and stuff like that. So we have to counter, we have to balance it. So again, to be a little bit repetitive, daily spiritual routine, doing yoga, things that strengthen the system, strengthens the aura, that helps to awaken the dormant DNA, which has our dormant potential. Heart-brain coherence and all this stuff will do it. Having that consistency, having that practice makes you virtually impervious to a lot of the negative programming, the fear, the anxiety, and all that stuff. And all the pollution, those of us in the Northeast have been breathing toxic air for the last week. But doing a practice can help to counteract some of the negative effects of that. And you can research and experiment with different things. there's so much variety of things that you can do that do the same place, but strengthen the body, strengthen the mind, strengthen the emotions, strengthen the the chakra system, the aura, the etheric bodies, strengthen the heart, and that's it. That is it. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point because again, the nature of tricknology. There's always snakes in the grass out there. There's always those that know how to manipulate energy that can make you feel like you're having a spiritual high in their presence, but they're really part of that programming machine. They're really attacking the spiritual people, and with a variety of different programs. And a lot of the conspiracy theories are bogus, and they're masking the true conspiracies. Now, the ones that are very savvy know the difference and are able to discern the difference. So there's a lot of stuff that's planted out there to divert our attention. So again, but when you're in the heart, you can't be fooled. And that's the thing. You can trust your intuition. The more you do your heart brain coherence, the more you can trust your intuition, because the more you're closer to spirit you are, and the more you're going to get information from a true and divine source. That's very good. I'm going to close with this. Don't love me, love my teachings. I like that. Yes. All right. So we've been a half hour. That's not bad for me. That I always like to talk and really explain things very thoroughly. That's pretty good. So thank you, everybody. And if you came in late, definitely come back. Hit the like button. Let's get this out. There's many people. We're a community. We want to share. We want to keep people safe as all the stuff is going on and all the stuff is going down. You're welcome, Jody. You're welcome, Chris, and everybody else. If you want to deepen your practice, join us on Spirit Mind Family. That's our Patreon group, and we do channeling here. We do frequency channeling here. In fact, on the 18th, on the new moon that's opposing the galactic center, we're going to do frequency channeling with the master teachers. On the 21st, we're going to do frequency channeling. On the 18th again, the 18th is going to be a busy day. We're going to do a meditation where we're going to connect and send healing energy to the collective and the earth. So I hope you guys can join me for that. And then on the 19th, we're going to do our mediumship. So you can just have fun, kick back, and I'll get messages for people that are here. All right. Whew. Ending now. I love you. And again, if you came in late, as soon as I end, I think even now you can go back to the beginning. So definitely take this all in and work it with yourselves, work with your community. And we are here together to support one another through this great awakening. I'm just going to end by saying, it's a magnificent time. We are so privileged to be alive here. We came into this world with the understanding this was not going to be an easy life. For many of us, we had to clear all of our karma from thousands of years, yours truly included. That doesn't make for an easy lifetime. But again, as you do your spiritual work and you awaken the heart, you can start to clear that karma. So we're here to witness and to be part of the greatest evolutionary process of humankind in probably at least 10,000 years, if not a lot longer, if not ever. So anyways, I'm ending. I promise. Bye.